Hey guys, how's it going? We're taking advantage of this beautiful day today to get a couple of garden projects done out here by the vegetable garden, which is right behind me. This is the flower bed on the north side of the vegetable garden, but it really does get full sun. Even though right now it doesn't look that way, we did throw a shade up so that it was shady for me in this area, so I wasn't squinting at you. But this area I really didn't do much to. I mean, I've got a couple of climbing roses on the arbor and this limelight hydrangea standard, and then I planted some annuals last year in this space that did really well, but I'm ready to start adding some perennials. So two things I want to get done in this area right here are to plant these Leading Lady Plum Monarda. Look at how pretty these are. I have these in one other area of my garden, but I put them in a spot that doesn't get, I think, enough sun for them to really thrive, and these really do want a full sun location. So I think they're going to do really well in this spot. And the other thing I want to do is try to stake up this limelight hydrangea because it's kind of taking off in this direction, and I want to straighten up its growth a little bit before it gets any bigger. So like I said, I did plant these in another project. I think it was 2 years ago, but I didn't really spend a lot of time talking about this plant. And I remember when the Leading Lady series of Monardas were coming out when I was working down at the garden center, and we were getting so many calls about it because it's a type of Monarda that's resistant to disease, which is a huge issue, or can be, with the older varieties of Monarda. You deal with powdery mildew, which is I think the biggest one that we deal with on this plant, and even in our area, which is dry, we would still get powdery mildew on the old varieties. So to have a type that's resistant to that is really amazing. Plus they've got a really wonderful scent. It's kind of like this citrusy herbal scent, and it's very nostalgic for me. Like, I remember having my parents having this in their garden. Probably not this exact variety when I was a kid, but something similar. This variety also stays a lot shorter, so it's going to be really perfect for the front of this border right here. It grows like 10 to 14 inches tall, and then it'll spread out 22 to 28 inches tall. And it attracts all the pollinators. So anything that I can plant in this space on either side of the vegetable garden that will attract honeybees, butterflies, anything like that is great, because the more pollinators you have around your vegetable space, the better. So I'm going to get these in the ground, and then we'll take a look and see how that looks so that I can determine where I'm going to stake this down. I've got this stake kit right here. DeWitt sent this out like a year or two ago. I can't even remember. I went into the barn to look and see what I had because I was just going to like run a stake in the ground and kind of tie it off to the stake, and I found this. So we're going to give this a try. I don't know how it works exactly, but it's got several different pieces in there. So let's get these Monarda planted first, and then we will stake up the tree. They look really beautiful right here, and I think they're going to fill in this spot just perfectly. I do plan on reworking the grass just a little bit. Like, I think I'm going to make it a little bit wider right here, maybe to tuck in a few lower things even than this, even though this can be the front of the flower bed if you want it to be, because it doesn't grow so tall. But I think putting something in here, maybe a variety of echinacea or something that blooms later on in the season, or rudbeckia even, will be really nice, because you'll be able to look over the top of the Monarda, because it'll top out about right here. And then you'll be able to see underneath the limelight canopy to something else that can bloom a little bit later, because these are an earlier bloomer, so early through midsummer. But this variety blooms 2 to 3 weeks earlier than other Monarda varieties, so you get a much longer bloom season out of them. They're also very pH adaptable, so if you have high pH, they'll actually thrive in your area, which we do. And it's quite rare to find something that actually thrives in those types of conditions. Zone 4 through 8, very winter hardy, and their blooms have a long vase life. So if you're into floral arranging, which I really like to do that, it's a really great one to add some early color into your arrangements. So that's pretty much it about the Monarda. Now I'm going to get into this tree support kit. It says that there's 3 recycled plastic stakes, 3 10-foot sections of tree rope, and a unique non-girdling support strap. So let me open this up and see what we got. Okay, there's our stakes right there. Looks like there's a hole so I can put the tree rope through it. And then one of these. So how does this work? So what I'm going to do is just wrap the strap around the trunk right here above the first set of branches, and I'll go ahead and loop it through here. I think that they mean for you, because there's 3 stakes and 3 eyelets here, they are giving you the ability to tie the tree off in 3 different locations, but I don't need to do that today. I just want to tie it off in one location. So what I'm going to do is run the tree rope through this set of eyelets. I got to find the end though. Hold on. There it is. I'm just going to go ahead and tie this off here, and then I'll pound my stake in the ground over here and tie it off again. Okay, here we go. This Limelight looks so much better being straightened up, and I don't anticipate needing to keep the staking system on for very long. I'm actually thankful it's black. It kind of matches our fence and kind of disappears a little bit, and we won't have to keep this on forever. Maybe half of the season, maybe the full season, and that's it, and this trunk will harden up this way and should keep growing straight instead of growing the way it was. And I typically don't stake anything in my garden unless I see a problem starting to form, even with brand new big trees that we plant. I put them in the ground. Most of the time they do great without needing to be staked. And I think it's overall healthier for your plant to not stake it unless you see something starting to happen. So the next thing to do in this area is to figure out what I want to plant right behind here. I think it's going to be really fun to see this whole area start to fill in and evolve over this growing season. So anyway, super glad to be done with these projects today and excited to see this color in my garden. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. Dirt. You want to play in some dirt? Look. You want to play in dirt, or is it garbage?
They smell good.
They smell good, huh? Yeah. Good job, bud.